Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to bees of tomorrow, welcome back to this discourse on interviews. Last time around, we stepped onto a higher rung. We no more looking at self-introduction, we are looking at self-profiling. Let us find out how this profiling is done. If you look at it graphically, x and y axis, okay, and x is, let's say, a certain characteristic, and y is a measure of that. Okay, so we can look at profiling as bar charts. We can look at profiling as bar charts, and the kind of design that is made will create an effect and impact. It is yet not an image. It is yet not an image. It is still a material transaction about yourself. Image we'll talk about at a more advanced stage. So, back to self-introduction, self-profiling, and now we are looking at the axis, the number of axes, the number of bar charts we can create to help us being understood better. We have to create those bar charts. As much as they have decided to put a couple of yardsticks, we have a chance to bowl them ever. We have a chance to bowl them over. A simple trick, like, rather than talking like this, suppose you open your hands, you say this, okay, and then, open your gestures, say this, say that. Yes, sir, it so happened that it had not been. I was always guided. I had a pursuit. I wished, I dreamed, I imagined, I had intuition, I had a gut feel. I have a treasure. I have something to share. I have something to write about. I have something to learn. While you're saying all these expressions, who is one person in the universe who will put his hand in the pocket and say? Who will put his hand like this and say? Is there one person in the universe who is capable of saying this? That I have a dream? Can you say it like this? I have a dream. I often desired. No, can you say like this? I often desired. I don't want to tell you this. It'll be ridiculous. No, sir, that's okay. But I want to reach. I want to reach dazzling heights. Can you say this? I want to reach dazzling. Isn't it a very natural thing? So that interview on statue. Earlier on, we talked about this. How boring, how ridiculous, how elementary, how outdated, how painful, how inhuman would that approach be? How inhuman would that approach be? So come off it. What do they see? They have certain agenda, certain prescribed bar charts. Can we add to that? Can we add to that in order that the earlier bar chart that they had, their priorities look now a little more? We had not, look Mr. Kamath, we had not considered this. Look Mr. Sharma, I don't think we have updated this bar chart for quite some time. We are that much outdated. Or could we have, depending on the kind of functions and the level hierarchy at which we are interviewing, can we have different set of bar charts? But typically, in an entry level, let's say a management trainee or an assistant manager, okay, or a brand executive or a finance executive, typically at this level, the first 1 or 2 years of job or fresher level, the kind of assessments they do is A, about your communication. A, about your communication. Suppose you say, by the grace of Almighty, ... me and my family, ... So we belong to that community of people who were affected by ... So because of unusual circumstances, I was mentally always in the crosswind. I had very unusual circumstances. So, unusual circumstances, paranoid, refugees, community are all the statements of your profound understanding about situations. They're not ordinary words. They're not colloquial. It's not, sir, we were done in by floods in the lower Himalayas. We were done in by floods. That's colloquial. Distraught, disorder, ability, agility, apropos, appropriation, weighted averages, stance, angles, perspectives, they're all signature, mature linguistic behavior. And who doesn't like that? Who in the universe doesn't like that? All beautiful words are all pleasant. They're pleasant on account of the fact that they are rarely used. And they're pleasant on account of the fact that the meaning they carry, the audible simultaneity, the beauty of the audible simultaneity is already built in. The researchers who created those words have already taken care of how the word sounds and what does it feel to our hormonal system. If you're a boy, it pays to be surer, decisive, and that is balanced by caution, moderation, alacrity, consciousness, morality. If you're a lady, your shyness is balanced by assertion. Your discomfort with words and subjects is balanced by your consciousness. Your beauty is balanced by humility. Your simplicity is balanced by your elegance. And your youthfulness is balanced by your compassion. We are yet not at the stage of personality interviews. That's a big, grand chapter. After all, you're talking to author of Map Your Competency and author of Know Your Personality and Make Your Psychograph. Personality is a very, very detailed subject. Dynamics, very, very detailed. Psychograph, oof, mind-boggling amount of confusions it has. Confusions, left and right, it has. So they want to understand your communication and what to do, what not to do. We'll talk about in a different context. But this is what is happening. They're trying to understand your communication. They're trying to understand your demographic character. They want to understand your demographic character. They want to know your status in the family. They want to know the economics of your family. If your dependency on this job is critical for the family survival, it might add few points of sympathy and empathy. It might, provided you maintain your esteem. Provided you don't coax them into making a judgment about you positively, because then you're selected for the wrong reason, and forever in your employment this factor will be kept in mind, that she was taken for different reasons. She was not there because of her competitive stand. She wasn't there because she was competitive. They want to know about your accent, where you come from, how traditional you are. They want to understand your ritualism. They want to understand your followership. They want to understand your leadership. They want to understand your time management. They want to understand your learning initiatives. Again, let me say, we are not yet at that stage of understanding or doing personality interviews. We are far, far from that. But profile will definitely mean many of these, most of these bar charts would be the part of their take home, the interviewers take home as they listen to you. Yeah, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Okay, so they want to proceed on one bar. So your demographics, your economics, your family history, your genetics, your attitude, the soft part of it will now be understood through your self-profiling. So please don't beat my efforts. Don't beat my efforts. Don't go back to self-introduction. Come to self-profiling. So, your content must satisfy these bars and must satisfy you being ticked higher and higher and on each of these bars. If not, the combination of the bars at least must favor you. That's self-profiling. But, it does not mean that you pretend to be what you're not. It does not mean that you pretend to be what you are not. Then you'll have a very awkward singing, awkward dance on the floor. Otherwise, if you're simple, you're humble, you're true to yourself, self-profiling would turn out to be a majestic ballet performance. Standing on the toe, wonderful ballet performance, a wonderful recitation of a poetry, a wonderful song, a wonderful orchestra. Insurities. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the to-be's of tomorrow, I sign off here. And soon, hope to meet you for better and the bigger talk on interviews.